It should be a priority. It should and it must continue to be a priority. But let us review the implementation so far of the CARPER, and I think there is a need to introduce amendments or changes in the laws insofar or in order to address certain noted and reported loopholes. And this has something to do with the scope or the coverage. It has something to do with the valuation. It has something to do with the compensation to landowners. Those are the common issues. So we address the loopholes, we address the gaps. And also, when we talk about agrarian reform, this is directly linked also to the issues of agricultural modernization, agricultural and fisheries modernization. Now we have a law about that, Agricultural and Fisheries Modernization Act, which is supposed to allot about 20 billion each year to be devoted to modernization. But are we seeing that? So there's got to be a comprehensive review also of how the law is being implemented. And going back to agrarian reform, we have to also study the impact of the conversion of public agricultural or agricultural productive lands, and also the aggregation, the continued aggregation by the landowners, its overall impact on agricultural productivity, on food self-sufficiency, and on local employment. Kailangan we inform, that should inform policymakers with respect to job generation in the rural areas. How much of the gains so far in our agrarian reform and how much of the failures and the shortcomings in the agrarian reform area have been achieved, been done in terms of local employment, because job generation remains to be a top concern in the country.
Okay, ma'am. So let's look at the implementation of the laws that address agrarian reform. So we had CARP, and then it was extended to CARP.
Yes.
So what can you see? What do you think are the problems with these laws and their implementation, and why we are not achieving the agrarian reform that we would like to have?
Well, I mentioned about the conversion of certain productive agricultural lands. Sometimes there is a problem in classifying this and opening up to conversion into commercial lands, and we have to look into how the DAR is implementing this. And you know, when the redistribution of land, that's got to be accompanied with enough or adequate access to credit. When you redistribute the farms to the farmers, to the qualified beneficiaries of agrarian reform, government should always be ready to give them more access to credit so that they can do more with respect to the land that they now own.